pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First item on the agenda is Matt Delton. Good morning, Matt. Good morning.
All right, I'm here today to talk about honesty and transparency in our county government. It's been 42 days now since I spoke here last, raising nearly 30 concerns involving former contractors Paul Severson of Severson Technology and Commissioner Dwayne Sutton. In that time, the Commission has yet to address even one of these concerns. Also in those 42 days, our treasurer still has not had access to the online order system that had over $127,000 go through it. Even though the number of tickets sold, according to reports presented to her by Paul, lowered by roughly 1,100 tickets from his first report to the final report he gave her in order to make numbers match. Based on the cost of the tickets being sold, that's anywhere from the lowest end of $16,500 to the high end of $82,500 in ticket sales that are not accounted for. Yet no one here has asked for any accountability on this issue, because as Dwayne, you said, do you question a bank when they send you a statement? Commission members are elected by the people and are therefore accountable to address concerns brought forth by them. In fact, the total opposite of this has happened. Instead of hiring an investigator to look into these issues, which are all very serious in and of themselves, we have spent thousands hiring an investigator for a stall grievance. By the way, this is the first and only time I could find any record of the county hiring an investigator for an employee. Even you commissioners sitting here couldn't give me an example last week when I asked. Why is there special treatment in this situation? This commission has a very long and checkered history of sweeping any issue under the rug that comes up about former contractor Severson Technology and never actually addressing them. I also noticed a video from when I was here last time was edited and my appearance was deleted. I guess it's a good thing I brought my own camera again so citizens can remain informed in these meetings. The citizens of Brown County expect and deserve better accountability and transparency. And I like to talk about personal relationships and the windfall some of the what people like to refer to as the good old boys receive from it. From 2012 through 2014, that's 3 years total, the county spent a total of $1,747 with Century Business. This year, in 2015, in just 8 months from February through September, the county spent $7,901.58 with them. What changed in February of this year that our spending with Century increased by over 450% so far this year? Glad you asked. This answer is very simple. Former Commissioner Mike Weiss started there. Yes, the same commissioner who participated in the rush vote to hire Paul just days before he was out of office. That brings me to the pressing issue that made me come here today. 2 weeks ago, Paul was pitching a $72,000 document management program, which, by the way, he has refused to tell me who the two bids are he says he has and who they're from. The only thing he would tell me is the vendor of the software is Square 9. A simple search revealed that Century Business is a local vendor for Square 9 software he is pitching. Local sales rep being former Commissioner Mike Weiss. I wonder who this purchase will end up going through. And by the way, I feel I should point out that I do not sell this software, so this isn't what people like to call a salty vendor issue. On the flip side, I actually made a phone call and found out at least one of the two other companies that sell document management software in town was not contacted. Why, on a $72,000 program, is Paul not contacting all possible vendors? Are we not interested in getting the best price? I'd also like to point out that the county already owns such a program called File Manager. This program is being used in at least 2 of our county offices and was just upgraded 4 years ago. So why not save $72,000 and roll it out to the rest of the departments if they don't have it and it's needed? I also question Paul's statements about the state's attorney's office needing the software first, according to him by the beginning of next year. Wasn't that the reason he proposed a purchase of a $6,747 copier from Mike Weiss just a few months ago? Because according to him, he said it had all the document solutions they needed. Now, just 5 short months later, we are being told we need to spend another $72,000. So are we to believe that Paul's incapable of doing his job, or that the sales rep sold us a false bill of goods? Either way, should we respect either of their opinions that throwing another $72,000 will solve this alleged problem, when the previous $7,000 apparently didn't provide the solutions they said it would? Paul also said this program would pay for itself in 3 years, but when asked the price, he didn't know. Hard to know how quick it can pay for itself when you don't even know the cost. After a while, he threw out the $72,000 number. The only real area of savings he mentioned was printing and efficiency. I want to know where this magic spreadsheet is that shows how much time we'd save, because that's something almost impossible to predict with any kind of accuracy. In printing, I happen to be in the printing business and can tell you this is an inaccurate statement. Truth is, the majority of businesses that try to go, quote, paperless actually see an increase in printing costs because no hard copies are kept. I'd like to hand these out. Some have the second page, some don't.
Just one page, or is it 2?
It doesn't matter. The second page is just the actual copy of the quote that was submitted before.
So what's the difference between file manager and a document managing system? Is there a pro or con to?
Just different names, different companies. They essentially do the same thing. File management software.
It's a shared drive that to get the documents within departments?
Pretty much. Usually, I'm not an expert on file management software, but essentially it's supposed to keep them in a similar place and make them more searchable. In reality, any place that has a server with permission-based folders can accomplish about the same thing. Now, on this handout here, we're going to discuss that $6,747 copier bought from Mike Weiss. You can see the screenshot I took from another reseller for the same machine taken just a couple days after the purchase was made. That exact machine with all the options was being sold for $5,141.72, a savings of $1,605.30 over what we paid for it. Now, if you take away accessories that weren't needed based on Larry and Paul's statement that it's not a high-use machine, we wouldn't need the stapling finisher, extra 3,000 sheet stacker, or the 2 and 3 hole punch, bringing the price down to $3,526, making this an over expenditure of $3,220.33, almost doubling the cost. Is this really how our money should be spent? And let's not forget we're being told this didn't provide the document solutions they claimed it would, because now we are told we have to spend another $72,000. And finally, I'd like to readdress the size and salaries of our IT department. And to do this, I'd like to give you comparisons of other counties and cities of roughly the same size. The city of Aberdeen has 2 IT employees for a total of roughly $100,000 a year in wages. They oversee 11 sites versus our county IT department, who oversees 3 sites. Both have about the same number of users. Perkins County has 1 employee in IT for $46,467, not the $106,000 that was misstated in the paper. Their population is roughly 33,000. Brown County has a population of just shy of 38,000. But yet we have 3 employees in IT, one at or just about 42,000, one at over 43,000, and another at 102,000, for a total of 187,000 per year. That's 87% more than the city spends, 300% more than Brookings County spends. Let's sink in for a second. 87% more than the city, 300% more than Brookings County. Paul's predecessor made approximately $50,000. So why is it we decided we had to more than double that wage for this position when it was hired again? Is this another example of the good old boys at work? I'll hand these out here. That one and this one. This is straight out of your guys' policy and procedure manual. And assuming at some point you guys are going to discuss what I've talked about in these last 2 meetings, I figured we'll give these to you highlighted because these would be very useful. Under conflicts of interest, county employees, officials, and board members are prohibited from, number 1, using their county position or any influence, power, authority, or confidential information derived from it, or any county time, equipment, property, or supplies for private gain. That would directly relate to advertising on the ticket website for the county fair tickets. On standards of conduct, it says the following list is not intended to be inclusive, but reflects items that may lead to such disciplinary action and/or termination. Number 1, committing a crime which is related or involves moral turpitude or disgraceful conduct. I think altering a check would fall under that. Number 5, any action which reflects discredit upon the county or is a hindrance to the effective performance of Brown County functions. Not allowing access to online ticket sales would definitely fall in here. Dishonesty, we can definitely go into a lot of examples. Incompetence or inefficiency in the performance of duties of one's position. And number 11, falsification of records, including employment application or personal misrepresentation of fact as it relates to job duties or profession. Now with that said, I again ask the Commission to finally address the issues I brought forth and hope someone is actually ready to represent the people of Brown County.
Anything else?
I guess I'm just wondering if at any point the 30 concerns I brought up last time are ever going to be addressed.
Possibly when we have a full commission here, we'll discuss those and get back to you.
Okay?
Any questions from Mr. Delpy?
And we are having a department head meeting later this month to discuss the document management, what's the best option to go. We haven't had any concrete decisions on that, and we will make sure that, whatever we decide will be, I don't know a whole lot about the IT side, but something like that, when it's a big expenditure, you look out and you reach out to the folks that know what's going on and what's what, and we will make sure that we get the best bang for our buck there. So.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Todd, did you want to have a couple minutes?
Yep.
All right.
I just wanted to thank everybody. We wrapped up our first season. I meant to get here last week and didn't get here last week, so I apologize for that. But finished up our first racing season at the Fairgrounds, and things went relatively well. No major concerns or incidents, or we rolled a couple cars over, of course, but those were major. But nobody, everything went pretty well, and we got things we'd like to straighten out for next year and make better. And we ended up having averaged about 107 cars a night, which was really good. One of the largest car counts, the largest one in South Dakota, one of the largest ones in the Wissota organization. So things went really well, and I just want to thank you. And if you have questions or something, feel free to get a hold of us. But we have a racing banquet the 2nd of January, and that'll wrap up the season and start the new one.
Very good.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
Glad you had a good season, and good luck next season.
All right.
That's we
Thank
renewed
you.
the contract for another year.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Todd. Ray, did you want to visit with us?
No.
You're just here to visit? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thought maybe you had some concerns, so, okay. Dirk?
I just got a little bit of new business pertaining to a variety of mitigation things that we got in the hopper. We heard back finally, and I visited with Dwayne a little bit. We got a sign, as long as Larry didn't have any issues or whatever, we need to sign the mitigation stuff and get it sent back, because it isn't in effect until the Corps signs it, and then we can move forward. I haven't seen it yet. There's even some reference to Road 16, that the whole thing, is that in there?
That's the second envelope. That
Do you
just
need
came
these
also.
back right away? Do we have his actual permit somewhere? Is that in here too?
I didn't see it, but maybe that's what they
Larry's
send after they
nodding.
get the
Is Larry
documentation.
nodding?
If you dig down far enough, I think you'll see the actual core permit and some other stuff in there.
Okay.
So
So I just wanted to pop in and make sure we're being expeditious on keeping the thing moving. I don't want it to get stuck, for instance, on my desk underneath something, but because we can't we have to be working on the mitigation site concurrently with any of these projects. So,
Specifically, the 16, Highway 16?
well, we have to be working on the Wilson site mitigation before we do anything with the Fairgrounds slough or Road 16, so.
That shows we're replacing those acres with new acres.
Right.
Simultaneously.
There's currently corn still on the Wilson site, so we got a little hold up there, but there are some things we can do in preparation for both projects that would be outside of that. We have some right-of-way to finalize on 16 yet, and some other things, so.
And will they be bidding out 16? I mean, it's
Yes.
12 years later.
Yep.
We should get
Yes.
there.
No, well, this is as close as we have been,
You're right.
and we're always rolling the dice with what kind of winter we're gonna have.
Yeah, and with
I mean,
spring.
right, and, so, there's, with things, there's a lot of storage, I guess, is what I'm trying to spit out here. There's a lot of, so we, it might not necessarily mean that we're gonna have trouble. I would like to get it going either way, and then we can limit, hey, if it turns out we can't work right in the bottom of the river, we can still at least get everything on both sides, kind of up and going.
I passed on to Mike at Clark, the boys, the nephews, have said that whatever you want to use their land for, storage or whatever,
Okay,
just ask and have me sign off for them.
okay, cool.
Where's that Wilson spot located?
I don't know, anybody familiar with the Casanova Refuge? It's right next to that. It would be, should be something crazy and put some glasses on.
I see better.
It's like right here. Right in here. It's west of, you know where the church is on 6C? It's a couple miles north of there. It's right up in here.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I think that's all that I had right off the top of my head, but I just wanted to mention about that. And like we said, we're getting close, so I want to keep it going.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, Drew.
Thanks.
All right, Kathy, go ahead.
I'd like to say a few words as well, if possible, prior to you guys undergoing your business.
Sure.
Great. My name is Travis Shonen. I also have a business here in Aberdeen. A longtime voter and concerned citizen, I guess. I, like most people in this community, I'm too busy to attend meetings like this on a regular basis. And, really the only thing that drags me out to city council meetings and so forth is when my rights are directly infringed upon. And so from time to time, on parking issues or signage issues and so forth, I'll attend those meetings and just kind of see the inner workings. And I think that you guys have a great opportunity here to kind of fly under the radar of most of the concerned citizens, just because these type of things fall within work hours. Now, I've got somewhat of an interesting perspective, I guess, on a couple of issues. First of all, I've been a technology contractor, and I just want to say that Matt's voice isn't just a lone voice in the wilderness here. His YouTube views that he had posted were in the thousands, and I talked to a lot of people, and I'm not even connected to this issue, and I've talked to quite a few people that brought it up to me and were upset about it. Now, I can tell you this, while I was a technology contractor, had I listed that I had worked 12 hours a day for 6 days a week on any extended period of time, I would have either been immediately fired or it would have come to question at the very least. Because it's just unreasonable. I put in a lot of 12-hour days, I really do, but it's unsustainable for any person to do that over a period of time. So that's an unrealistic valuation. Second of all, I employ technology people. People with really specific skill sets that the average run-of-the-mill person would need a significant amount of training to acquire. So I can understand, it's difficult to get rid of a person that has a really good, unique skill set, especially in a place like this where they're not just crawling out of the woodwork. But, knowing that you're paying somebody twice as much as the going rate, I guarantee that you could find someone to replace any position. So, just those few things. I don't want to feel like I need to come to these meetings. And I think that most people don't have the ability or flexibility to come to these meetings to kind of hold everyone in check. And I think that, just by doing the right thing here, you guys can put this issue to bed and alleviate a lot of the concerns that the people in this community really have. And then go back to flying under the radar. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Kathy.
Okay, we have approving minutes from the October 13th general meeting.
Move.
Motion by Hanson,
Second.
second by Kipling. All in
only
favor,
you and
signify
I.
by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Kipling, second by Hanson. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Employee step increases.
I'll move the ones that we have the approval for.
There were
Got
some
all
that
of-
didn't have
Yeah,
the,
some didn't have the,
We
there were a couple on there that didn't have it.
Let me show you.
Go ahead, just let me know so I'll take it out.
The only one that was on the list that wasn't was Bill Rohrbach, and that's because he's changed his position
Melky,
starting Monday.
Sandra Melky.
Yep, she was in there. I gave Kathy that one
They
yesterday.
weren't all checked out?
It should be in the pile there.
Yeah, but they weren't checked. Must be in there.
Oh,
Oh, that one's on there.
yeah, it's here.
It was there,
They're all there?
yeah.
Then I'll move them all, as long as they're all approved.
Verify.
Sandra Melky's, my copies right here.
Yep, they're all in
Second
there.
them.
Okay.
Motion by Hanson, second by Kipling. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Personal miles driven.
Move.
Motion
Second.
by Kipling, second by Hanson. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The jail and JDC contract with Walworth County.
Move them.
Second.
Motion by Kipling, second by Hanson. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
We have 3 admission of service.
Move them.
Motion by Hanson,
Second.
second by Kipling. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Approve hiring Justin Yablonsky, full-time correctional officer.
Move.
Motion by Hanson,
Second.
second by Kipling. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That's all that I have.
All right, I see Kurt just came in. We need to discuss the rental house at Richmond Lake. Because we forgot to bring it up last week. Morning, Kurt.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in.
I didn't get with you, I'm sorry.
That's all right. We're all busy.
There were some questions about the feasibility of not either continuing or not continuing the progress on the house at Richmond, so.
Can you talk and just give us a little history? Like, how long it had been rented? What were we getting? What do you believe we can get on it?
It's been rented for about 40 years now. Well, John's been out there for 36 years, and it's been rented ever since John's been there. So I think it's been a good moneymaker for the county. We were getting $375 when we first started. So for the last 12 years, we've made about $54,000 income out of it. We did remodel it 12 years ago. We put in new floors, we put in new kitchen cabinets, had it reshingled, put new siding on it. Since then, we have not put a penny into it. So, as far as the house itself, it's structurally sound. It's, what my plans were is to refurbish the bathroom in it. That was pretty bad, so we want to put a new shower in, put a new vanity, new sink, new flooring in it, which is about $1,000 to do that. The majority of I've got about a $10,000 budget. I'm not going to go over that. The majority of it is the heating cooling system. That's $7,600 if we would take the low bid on it.
Has it had air conditioning in other than a window?
No, it's
I
never
didn't
had
think
it.
so.
Just
And the
had-
heating is old, if I...
The heating was an oil furnace.
Yeah.
And I guess my plans are whenever the last renters get out to upgrade it to natural gas, because we do have natural gas right to the house. So all they gotta do is hang a meter on it, and it's ready to go. They just have to pipe it in.
Well, I
So-
wasn't here when you had your discussion on it, but it's paid, more than paid for its own cost.
And, you know, the last renters we had, not the last ones, but the prior ones, we've always had very good luck with those renters. And when Paul was out there, he even worked for the county for a little bit. He mowed out the youth camp and stuff like that, and did little odd jobs to help us fix up stuff. So it's all about the quality.
How many square feet is it? Do you know?
It is
It's not.
800.
It's not very
some-
big.
A little over 800.
800, isn't it?
And what were we getting? You know, you said it was $375 when they started. Is that what
The last one, you upped the rent to what, 600?
It's either 575 or 600. I think.
575.
I was thinking
575.
575,
Yeah, once the renovation is done, it'll be very nice. And I think we can get between $800 and $1,000 a month out of it easily.
yeah. With the location and everything,
Yes,
right?
very nice lot. And of course, we went in and did the landscaping already. We trimmed trees, we took care of the weed problem and power washed the house. And so it's a very nice, everybody that comes out there is just like, wow, this is really nice. So I don't think we would have any problem renting it. But again, we're going to have stipulations. We're going to have to do background checks on potential renters, things like that we have not done in the past. And we also need to be able to go in and do inspections, whether it's annually, monthly, every
Quarter or something.
Yeah, to make sure that the property's being kept up. Because the last renters, I think I sent 4 letters out to clean up the property, which they did, and then they got bad, and they did, and then it got bad.
That little shed outside, is that just going to be dozed over? The one
Yeah.
with the hole in the roof?
Yeah, the little shed out there is going to disappear. I've got another a 9 by 14 Girl Scout cabin that we can bring over and set in that spot. It can either be used for storage or a screen house for sitting outside, because it's got it's in good shape yet. Just have to do a little TLC on it. But that would make a nice addition to it also. And we can just bring that over with a forklift. There's no cost involved. Just bring it over and set it down.
Well, we just need to make a decision on whether or not to proceed, because the water going to the youth camp goes through, the wet water
It
goes
does.
through that building or that structure, so we need to make a decision on how we're gonna handle that.
Yeah, so right now I've just got a heater down in the basement to make sure that water doesn't freeze down there.
Yeah. And you said there's some way, if we didn't rent it out, there's a way to
Oh, yeah, there's always a
insulate it,
way.
just,
Yeah, we can heat tape it if we decided to sell the house and move it off the foundation. We would just either put a curb stop in there and just bury it. Because it's down, where the wet water comes in, it's down far enough where it's not gonna freeze, of course, if there's no house there anymore.
Does the county gain some sort of advantage having people actually living on the property as far as security or just keeping an eye on things?
You know, it doesn't hurt. I've had calls from past renters, not the last renters, but the renters before that, when we've had some activity out there that they weren't sure people were supposed to be out and around there.
Kind of security for us in a way.
And it's kind of nice because if we get big, we usually go out and clean snow, but if we get a big snowstorm, the state shop is right there, right next to them, and the state shop will go and clean that driveway out for them. So we've got a really good partnership with the state there.
All right.
So the motion was made, was well, while I was gone,
Right.
was not to rent it?
Well, no, to cease the work on it until we had a chance to discuss it and talk to Curtin. So we
And I
kind
can
of
see
put
it's kind of a unique duck. I mean, it's off by itself. There's not a whole lot to it. I don't have any strong objections either way. My biggest thing with having it is just the county being in the housing industry. And back in the rolls, why don't we just make housing, and rent out more? I mean, that's just my fundamental issue with it. But I see where you're coming from too.
This is kind of a unique place, and it's different than having one in town.
It is.
What was the original purpose of that house? Since the county owns all the property.
I
that was
believe
on-
the original caretaker of the youth camp
Okay.
used to live there.
Okay.
I think that's why it was put there to begin with.
All right. Other questions or thoughts?
Well, I think we should continue with your improving on it and rent it out. I really can't find a fault with the past history on it. And like Larry brought up, with the security of, it kind of gives us a little extra set of eyes. So, if you need a motion that we continue, I would make that a motion that you continue with your work.
Okay, we have a motion. I'll second it for discussion purposes.
Like I said, I'm not strongly opposed, but I'll probably just stick with being against it just because I find it tough to believe that we're going to be able to get 800 to 1,000 on a piece of property. You and the guys have done a great job on it, but there's no access to the water. It's pretty far from town. It is a nice location, but it's a very small house, and 54,000 over 12 years, I mean, that's some income, but if we did something else with it, I think we could go that far too, so.
Well, the only other option is to tear it down or to move it. And that would cost us, correct? And we already have some.
If we would tear it down, it would cost us. If we'd move it, it would be on whoever purchased the property, the house, to have it moved. And I don't know how feasible it would be to move it out of where it is, because we would probably have to cut down some trees, and they would have to go through the state's parking lot to get out, so we would have to approve it with the state first, that house could come out through their parking lot to get out of there.
All right, well, we have a motion and a second to continue. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All vote aye. Opposed, nay.
No.
Okay, motion passes. Go ahead and proceed.
Okay.
All right.
Once we get it all done, I'll get you pictures.
Okay,
Sounds
give
good.
us a tour.
I'll give you a tour.
It has come a long way.
It'll be very nice when it gets done.
Okay. Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dirk.
How's it going?
Just can't get enough of us, huh?
I just gotta mop up some things. Okay. I just talked with the engineers and with the Corps quick. Unless there's an objection from Larry, I'd like to recommend that we sign these two and get them in the mail today. There's 2 copies that pertain to the Fairgrounds slough, and there's 2 copies that pertain to Road 16. So,
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Hanson, a second by Kipley. And State's attorney reviewed the one for the Fairgrounds. When I got here this morning, the other one was here, and it was identical. It just pertained to Highway 16, so I'm sure there's a
It's
same.
the standard way
it's
we
the
use.
identical form and
Yep.
everything, they just changed it. So,
All right. We have a motion and a second to approve the signature of the
and I,
agreements.
you've been communicating with them, and the mail's been coming to you,
Yes.
so.
The
Okay.
corn's coming off pretty quick. Is that something we're gonna do some work on then this fall yet?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, hopefully on both of them.
While the water's low.
I didn't answer, here, I'll give you the folders too, or you can give them, sign them and give them back to me right now, and I'll go make sure they get mailed, but definitely on the Fairgrounds slough and definitely on the mitigation site. The thing with 16 is, that's gonna be about I hope, $2.5 to $3 million project. It's gonna be built, it's one of the remnants of the old county STIP program. And actually, it's got 90-10 money in it. It's funded by programs that were discontinued when Clinton was in office. So, but there's I think the last estimate on it's about $2 million. I think that might be a little optimistic. It's probably going to be closer to 2.5 to 3, I think. But we've got about $5 million in buying power in our account that's still sitting there from the previous federal programs. So it'll be bid. I have to check and see if it's bid as one type of project, it would be done through the state. If it's bid as a second type of project, it would be bid through or with the engineering company.
Okay.
So it kind of excited though.
I'm getting
I would
excited.
imagine you guys are
waiting.
too, but it's 2004 2003 was the first time we submitted that. So it'll be good.
Yes, it will.
All right.
Thank you.
I won't bring up any more new business from 2003 today.
As long as it's completed.
Yes.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good to have that behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start filling in that wetland again.
Almost don't believe it is.
I don't, I'd have to be down there and watch it.
You're funny. Yeah, poor Kurt, man, that day he called me, oh my goodness. No, we gotta send both copies
Oh, wait,
back.
can I keep one for the?
We may want to make a couple
Yeah,
copies.
can I
you
make
can-
some
If
copies?
we mail them all.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to do like wave our arms and scare all the birds away. Let's just send them back.
Fly under the radar.
That'd be nice. When we first started this, that money was enough to finish all of it from 23 to Bath.
9 miles or whatever that is.
Yep.
Now we're gonna do 3.
Yeah, now we can do a whole 3, maybe.
At least we'll get through the 2 low areas.
Yeah, they can raise it up a little bit so they can get that.
Well, we should be able to deal with the north end of it. The part that's out of the water, I mean, we can deal with that with conventional things. And we gotta be careful. There's part of that's in the 5-year plan or will be, so.
Well, the south part got done.
Yep.
Thank you for doing that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I want it done too.
Not as much as the farmers
Yeah,
around
I
here want it
would
done.
imagine.
There's just no good bypass. You have to go down to Brentford or over to Groveland.
Yeah. So, it's just like that bridge up at Hecla, same thing. You can go to North Dakota 11 or you can use State 10,
Right.
I guess I could have made the copies and then you guys.
No problem.
We're short agenda anyway.
All right, here you are, Dirk.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much.
coming.
Thanks, Dirk.
Thank you for making it. All right. Y'all have a good day.
You're not coming back?
Two.
I hope I'm not coming back. And I'll be out of town next 3 days. So.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
Thank
thanks. Kathy, anything else?
Nope, I am done.
All right, Gary.
We talked about the house, so the only other thing I had is I sent you that change for allowable makeup time through the email that you all requested last week to make a change to, so I made that change, and so just looking for approval to
I read
add
it,
that
but it
in.
was last week. Just say, what do you?
Basically, that we were just gonna make up during lunchtime,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
per
sounds good.
Doug's,
Restricted
It
to
looked to me
just.
like-
per Doug's suggestion.
Yep. Is that the only change then, or?
That was the only
Okay,
change.
I move it.
Motion by
second.
Kipley, second by Hanson to approve the change to the policy manual. All in
That's all
favor,
I had.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Nothing else? I would entertain a motion to go into executive session
I'll move it.
to discuss personnel. Motion by Hanson.
Is it something we need to do this week, or is it something we should wait for the other two commissioners?
We need to at least start the discussion this week.
Okay, as long as we can get them on the phone, or I think they should be part of. I'd
Well,
second it.
and we just need to address personnel issues.
Okay, second.
Motion by Hanson, second by Kipling, to go into executive session. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Are we going to be calling anybody?
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess just let me know. who
Yep,
we're
we'll
talking
let, we're not sure who will be
See
able
whether or
to
not
get
they
a
pick
hold
about.
of.
Yeah, see if they answer.
Holding back. In the court.
Lord, that's so coordinated. Where's your yellow shoes?
Nope, sorry.
All right, is there anything else to come before the Brown County Commission? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Motion
Second.
by Hanson, second by Kipling. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.